Welcome back to Novi's favorite podcast, Now You Novi.
And by the way, not only favorite podcast, but favorite guest on the podcast.
Okay. You are in that seat more than anyone, so yes, you could
I'm
be.
only kidding.
Oh.
We're having fun this morning. We're joking around, and it's a good morning, and Sheryl will explain why.
No, you can explain why, but if for those that are watching it, they see smiles because every time we've talked about this, we've had to just be straight-faced. And there were buzzwords we couldn't use because we'd get buzzed.
Yeah, we had to be very careful. Yes, it was strictly an informational campaign. We can say that. If we say what, I guess we can say
campaign
now. Yeah. So, but today we're talking about just being excited because the bond passed.
Woohoo! We've come on over the last several months, Chief and I, providing information, which was what the only thing we could do is provide information to y'all, and help you make an informed decision. And we just wanted to come on this morning and wholeheartedly thank Novi voters for their support, right? And you and I both received so many emails, calls, questions over the last several months, and some that stick out in my mind, Chief, and I'll let you elaborate, but there was so much thanks and gratitude for our webpage, our transparency, your attending HOA meetings, the 5 public information meetings that we opened the doors. People were just overwhelmingly, whether they supported or were going to vote no, they just were grateful that we were open and transparent throughout the entire process.
Well, and that was my goal from the beginning, all the way back to, I think, April when we started doing these, was to be open and transparent about the needs for the public safety facilities, because it's important, and there is that huge need, and not to get into all that, but people were very, very supportive at all of my meetings. And you're right, whether they knew they were going to vote yes or knew they were going to vote no, they were still very happy and very supportive that I was there, that Fire Chief was there, John Martin with me, just to hear what we had to say about the need. And throughout the summer, countless people, came up to me and just said, "Hey, thank you for coming out. Thank you for letting us know," all of that. And the feedback's been just phenomenally positive. And and all that work paid off, and certainly a huge thank you to all of our Novi residents that came out and supported our initiative. And we're excited for the next step and moving on.
I have 2 thoughts real quick. So we both just said, whether you were a yes or a no, I think the gratefulness and the opportunity I felt, and you and I've talked about, just being able to engage in conversation with residents, voters, and understand if they were a no, that's great. Like, all we can do is provide the information, and we respected that, right? And it could have been for a number of reasons: fixed income, didn't believe in whatever the case. It was never an uncivil discourse, and just the gratitude of being there was awesome. But aside from that, whether you voted yes or no, this bond is for everybody. If you were a no, you still win, because the facilities that we are going to create, over the next 5 years, Novi as a whole wins, right? It's not just for the police and fire staff team members that work there. These are community buildings that we all win for the future of public safety.
Yeah, in the last 12 hours, I've gotten a number of congratulations, Chief. And I say, no, it's not for me. It is for the city of Novi. It's for the residents. It's for all of our public safety teams. It's really to build out for the future of the public safety for the city of Novi. So you're exactly correct. Whether you vote yes or no, everybody's winning in this, because we're going to touch all of our facilities, whether it's building new or upgrading another one of our facilities. This is for the city of Novi and their public safety teams and all of our residents. So.
let's dive really quick. If someone's listening and they are like, I didn't vote, I didn't know, which I'll be shocked. But what was approved yesterday was $120 million for the creation of 3 new public safety facilities, but in essence, really 4 because we're putting 2 in 1. But 3 new buildings, a new roadway, and enhancements to fire station number 4. All to be done. And I love this because you and I are going to ensure for Novi that this happens within the next 5 years, which is a pretty aggressive timeline. I was talking to a reporter that happened to work with you and I over the last several months, and they're like, and you know what? That's what makes Novi Novi. You are going to meet or exceed that target and deliver for your residents, right?
In Novi's public safety team, we always excel and we always exceed standards. That's always our goal. And while we may say, over the next 5 years, I'm going to be pushing for more like 3 years. So anybody that may be listening or may be involved,
let's say
that's 5. What I'm going to push for.
Let's under promise, over deliver, okay, Chief? Because I talked to Mr. Herzig this morning, who is our Director of Public Works, and I'm like, what can I say? Where do we get going first? Because I have road in my mind, right?
Yes.
As part of this project, Liba Gold Drive is going to be extended from Crescent all the way down to Grand River. And I'm like, are we ready? Is shovel going in the ground? He's like, slow the roll, Walsh Malloy, like slow the roll. Because they need to get some stream bank stabilization. They need permits. Now that the bond is passed, they need to move forward with permitting. But he tells me by the end of 26, early 27, phase 1 will be done. So Liba Gold from 11 Mile to Crescent, which needs to happen because the police and fire station that's going there is basically in the old roadway, right?
Well, while they are completing phase 1, we will be planning for phase 2. And as soon as phase 1 is done, we are going to move on to phase 2.
So
I will be pushing people along as hard as I can push, because I think it's important to get these projects done. It's a big project and it will take time, but I think we can always work a little faster.
So that's a great point. How do people, when we talk about these projects, we want to be as open and transparent as we were about the potential bond as we are with the projects. So already today, the bond 2025 bond webpage has sunset.
Okay.
We have now created cityofnovi.org/PS, public safety, PS buildings. And there is a thank you to Novi voters and what now is happening, what is going to happen, and we are committed to keeping that page updated. We will most likely create sections, fire station 1, police headquarters 2, 3, and we are going to post photos. We're going to talk about where we are in the project process so people can follow along and hold us accountable as well to being open and transparent. This is your money. This is you said it, their buildings.
Well, folks, I'm learning about the new website as you are. Which is very exciting.
It's done.
I don't know. Just throwing ideas out there. I mean, live cams.
Yep.
Very exciting. That would be cool.
Right?
That live cams would be cool to just log on once in a while and see what's going on.
So we're going to be committed throughout the next several years to keeping y'all updated, and like we said, these are your buildings, and when they come to fruition, there'll be some big old parties, right, Chief?
We hope so.
We hope so. So anything you want to add? I mean, how are the troops this morning? Are they super excited? We can say, how many times are we going to say excited?
I know. Say excited and smile all at the same time.
Right.
They are very excited. I've spent some time in one of our fire stations this morning, and obviously in the police department, and everybody's excited. Everybody understands the need. They work in the buildings, so they know. They know the lack of space and all the other things. So they are very excited. we've been talking about this for a long time, and now, thanks to our residents and our voters, we have the funding for the project.
You know what? We have been talking about this for a long time. And before we sign off, let's give a big shout out, because this city council definitely approved the opportunity for it to go on the ballot. But we have been talking about it for a long time. And the studies go back, as you and I talked, decades, right?
Yep, 2005, roughly.
But former Mayor Bob Gatt actually created, and I'm going to get the committee name wrong, but a Public Safety Needs Committee, maybe, which consisted of yourself, some residents, former police chief, director of public safety, to really look at what the vision for these buildings were. And that was 3-4 years ago, maybe?
About 3 years ago, yeah.
Before it even came before voters. And it was his vision and some others on council, former Mayor Pro Tem at the time, still council member, Dave Stout. But that committee worked to really jumpstart where we are today. So you were involved in that a little bit more, but I do want to give a shout out to the residents and Mayor Gatt for their efforts.
Yeah, Mayor Gatt brought this forward. It was his vision, and unfortunately, obviously, he didn't run again. So but this all started under his leadership, and certainly owe a great debt of gratitude to former Mayor Bob Gatt, and here we are today.
Yeah.
And I think, of course, you mentioned, the council approved it, but unanimously approved it. Everyone on the same page, and that was an important factor as well. So we certainly appreciate all of that. And just one final thank you to all of our residents for making this possible. So thank you.
Great. Super fun. We've got a lot of work, but a lot of positivity, right?
Yep.
Moving forward. So we'll have you on again. You're
I
not
look
going,
forward to it.
You're not going away. You know what, too? So the bond passed last night, but you also had amazing turnout, which again, support of our police and fire efforts at National Night Out. And you and I talked briefly last night about that, but largest turnout you've had at a National Night Out?
Phenomenal turnout for National Night Out last night. I would encourage you to come out in the future. We had more people there than what we had planned for, which is always the goal. And the goal is always to run out of everything, so we don't have to bring anything back with us. And that's what happened last night. We had to actually run out and buy some more food. But it was a great turnout. It was a great event. It's just an event. We're just there. We're my executive team. We're not in uniform. We're polo shirts because we're cooking hot dogs and just having fun
alongside the families, right?
Yeah, it's just it's not to ask anybody for any money. No sales pitches. It's just a free fun night, and we always enjoy it. It was a great turnout, and
So Tuesday, August 5th will go down in the books is a really good day.
Really good day.
Really good day.
So
thank you, Novi, again, for your support, as always. Novi, since I've been here, has always been a community, as evidenced through citizen surveys, et cetera, that supports our public safety initiatives, and it's a big part of who we are. So thank you, Novi, for your continued support of public safety initiatives. And we promise and make a pledge to y'all to be great stewards of this opportunity and these funds to build community facilities for the next 50 years.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Good deal. Thanks, Chief, for joining me.
Thank you.
And thank you, Novi, for listening. If you've made it this far, we'll say, and there you have it. Now you Novi. Take care.